Well, today is Monday, June the 12th, 2017. Brand new week. Had a great week last week. We're going to have a great week this week. Man, have I got a great show today. I think it's so good, I'm even going to skip my opening comments. Can you believe that? We're going to jump right into the show. Stick around. All right, you guys have heard me talk about one of the segments that I'm going to have on my show every so often. It's called Meet the Music. I really want to introduce the greatest musicians on the planet to my listeners. These guys and gals get kind of put behind the scenes, behind the curtain a lot of times, and we really don't know who they are, even though they're playing on hit records every day. They're in studios all over the world recording albums for a lot of the big stars that we listen to on the radio every single day. And my first guest is not any different than that. He's a hit everything, and I'm going to go in a little more detail here in just a second, but I want to welcome to Let's Talk About Tomorrow, Mr. Curt Ryle via the Let's Talk hotline. Curt, are you with us?
Yes. Hey, Earl.
How you doing?
You in a while. I'm doing good. Just staying busy in the studio as always.
I know. I've tried to call like 7 days in a row, and I got your secretary every time. What's up with that?
It's just a busy time right now. I mean, we got a lot of songwriters. I got a girl here from Japan right now that we're getting ready to put down some tracks on, and it's just been a busy time. And I've heard your show though, and I want to let you know how much I love it, man. I think it's a
appreciate
great
it.
Show.
Thank
you,
buddy.
I'm speaking for all the musicians in Nashville and around the world when I say, it's really nice to have somebody on our side.
Oh yeah,
that speak about us. So we're kind of, we don't really want a whole lot of notoriety, but we enjoy it when we get it. So,
well,
thank you for that.
I tell people all the time that come into the studio that I've produced and worked with. I let them know up front I'm the small guy on the totem pole. I might have a title of producer and mixer, but it's all the guys and gals in between the producing and mixing that make me look good. And I try to share that with everybody. I said, guys, please understand, it's really not me. I just have the privilege of sitting down with these great musicians, and boy, they sure make me look good. And I'll take that.
Well, I got to say something, Earl. I did a recording session with you not long ago, and it was in Nashville, way out in Franklin somewhere.
At the West Barn.
Yeah, the West Barn.
Yeah.
And I just remembered how well you controlled that recording session. That was actually quite interesting, and I thought you were extraordinary at that. So don't put yourself at the bottom of the totem pole, my friend.
Well, I'm just going to crawl. I'm going to crawl straight up on the pedestal now after you said that, because you're one of the best producers I've ever met. So I'm like, yeah, buddy, I'll take that. No, I appreciate that, man.
I really enjoyed
that was fun. We had a great time,
Mm-hmm.
But look at the lineup we had. I mean, man, how in the world do you beat that lineup?
The musicians were that day were the finest, some of the very best musicians in the world. Without a doubt.
I don't think they'd mind if I told who the lineup was. Do you?
No.
All right. We had on that recording session, we had Curt Ryle on acoustic. We had Jimmy Nichols on piano.
That's correct.
Dennis Holt on drums. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Dennis Holt on drums. My buddy Mike Sievers on electric guitar.
Yeah, I hate him sometimes because he plays licks without. No, Mike is the best. Sometimes I look at him and I go, I wish I would have played that.
He is excellent. There's no doubt about it. Very creative. And then we had brother Steve Bryant on the bass guitar.
Yeah.
I mean, how does it get any better than that?
Yeah, that's and I think Wanda Vick was there, wasn't she?
Yeah, I guess Wanda Vick was there. Yeah,
yes, she was.
Of course, she's like everything with strings.
I think they call her a world champion like 5 years in a row or something.
Isn't that crazy?
How good she is? Yeah.
Wow.
Excellent musicians.
And then we were in that big old timber frame barn.
I know.
And Joe West was actually in there with us tracking.
That's right.
So we just had a blast. I mean, it was a great time. Everything was wonderful. Listen, you guys just make it real easy on me. I appreciate your wonderful comments, but I just had such a blast. I'm always honored to be in a room with all you guys. And speaking of you guys, I want to share with my listeners a little bit more about Curt Ryle. So do me a favor, just take a quick nap because I want to share with some folks things that you've done. Are you cool with that?
Probably about a 15-second nap, or you're going to get it all in.
No, I'd have to take a week if I did everything, but I shortened it up so I could try to fit this in. All right. Here's a little more about Curt Ryle. Number one, born in Duncan, Oklahoma. You were raised in Broken Bow, Oklahoma. You moved to Nashville in 1985 with just a few clothes, a few songs, and a guitar.
Yeah.
Since that time, you've more than earned the title musical genius. You wrote and published the platinum-selling title track for Billy Ray Cyrus, Storm in the Heartland. You also wrote the Real McCoy for George Jones, Too Wild, Too Long album. Two of Clinton Gregory's albums feature Curt's songs, Master of Illusion, wow, what a great song, Dying One Shot at a Time, and Sad Out of Saturday Night. You know, I can remember back in the 90s, I was a huge Clinton Gregory fan, but let me keep moving along here. Gene Watson recorded Uncharted Mind and Mirrors Don't Lie. He also co-wrote with Vern Gosdin, Hank Cochran, Mel Tillis Jr., Wade Pennington, Terry McBride, Curtis Wright, Razzie Bailey, Tony Mullins, Buddy Cannon. Man, is there anybody you haven't written with? Then
I don't know. I'm sure there is.
I mean, wow! It's like you play lead guitar, steel, acoustic dobro, acoustics guitars on records for George Jones, Mel Tillis, Linda Davis, Ronna Reeves, Razzie Bailey, Paul Overstreet, John Michael Montgomery, Pam Tillis, Vern Gosdin. I mean, give me a break. How do you find time to do anything else?
Well, you know, I don't know, Earl. I don't know how to do anything else. You know, my wife asked me the other day to fix the sink, and I had water spraying all over the ceiling, and she said, you know, just do music and don't worry about it.
I know. You called me and had me.
I know how to do.
You called me and had me fix it. I remember. Yeah, I and that's a true story. That is a true story. And I do appreciate the cup of coffee. That was, you know, it's so amazing though. I remember you and I go way back. We've been friends for many, many years. And I remember you telling me the story that when you were a kid, a lot of the other kids were outside playing with their football and basketball, and you slept with your guitar.
Yeah, there's a lot of truth in that. And I'm from a small town in Oklahoma, and it wasn't like there was a lot to do. And, you know, you could sit out on your porch and look at cows, or you could play a guitar. So I chose the guitar.
Yeah.
And, you know, it's just something I grew up doing, and it was kind of like a part of me. I don't know. There was just nothing else I wanted to do.
Yeah. After all of these years, have you ever looked back and thought, man, I wish that I would have become, I don't know, something else? Has that ever crossed your mind?
Not really, or it really hasn't. You know, you mentioned Clinton Gregory at the time when he was recording. His record company had called me. I had written probably 6 songs for him in a row that they had released. And they actually called me and offered me a recording contract. And, you know, I have a beautiful voice, Earl. I just tear it all to hell trying to get it out. Is that okay to sound that on the radio? Anyway.
It's true, so you might as well. I'm sorry, buddy.
They actually did offer me a deal. I think it's because I was the songwriter on so much stuff, and the labels were, back then, they would sign a songwriter, you know. But I turned it down. I just didn't. I had been out there on the road with Vern Gosdin and Mel Tillis and those guys, and I just thought, you know, even Ray Price, you know, and I thought, I don't think I want to do that. I've seen it and been there and done that. And I like being behind the scenes, you know what I'm saying? Like you, I like being behind the scenes of producing and
love it,
and playing on sessions and writing and that sort of thing.
I'm sitting here thinking, man, if I ever played for Mel Tillis or Vern Gosdin, I would be shouting that to the whole world. You know what I'm saying? I mean, what were your thoughts in your mind when you first got the call to go actually tour with Vern Gosdin?
I got to tell you the truth. Vern Gosdin and George Jones, as a young kid, those were my heroes, and so was Ray Price. Those were the 3 people that I admired the most, and I ended up getting to play and work with all 3 of them.
Wow!
So in a way, it was quite a blessing to have that. in another way, you come to realize, these are people just like us. They're really not any different than us. And so you see all their flaws and all that, and suddenly your image of the hero gets watered down. And it's not that they're not good people; they're wonderful people. It's just that you want to put them way up on a pedestal, and if you ever work with them, of course, you see the other side of them.
It's funny because I've been in your studio thousands of times, it seems like. And I get so excited every time you call for me to come and actually sing a demo vocal for you. And here's what's funny. I walk in your studio, and we are really close friends.
Yes.
And what's funny is when I walk in that door, though, that slight bit of intimidation slaps me all over again when I see all those gold albums.
Oh, Earl,
you know what I'm saying? I mean, I walk in and there's times that I've wanted to say, hey, Curt, why don't we turn this place into a museum and charge ticket prices? Because I catch myself after all these years, every time I walk in, I still find myself staring at the walls and seeing all these gold records everywhere. And then if you're a guitar player out there, this would be the dream tour. I mean, you've got guitars from every walk of life in your studio. I'm going to share pictures on the show. I want people to see how beautiful your own personal studio is. That place is incredible. Well, listen, I want to ask you something, and I talked briefly to you about this earlier. There are 4 or 5 songs, I guess, throughout my whole life that have moved me more than any other songs I've ever heard. One of those songs, I mean, amongst many others you've written, but there's one specifically that just totally moved me the very first time.
I know that song. I know that because you come in here one day and asked me for a copy of it.
Oh, well, let me tell you why. I think I told you I wanted to just hear it, but I lied. I really wanted to put it on the show. I mean, I'm asking you while we're recording this, are you okay if I share it with my listening audience?
You know what? I think it's a wonderful thing because I don't think they're ever going to hear it any other way. Earl, I've never been able to get the song recorded, and I've always loved the song too. It's one of my favorite songs I've ever written, so I appreciate you doing that.
Well, I will say this. It's in my top 5 of my favorite all-time songs. I want to share this with my listeners right now. The writer of this song is none other than Curt Ryle, my guest today, and the name of the song is called Somebody's Child. Sit back and enjoy.
Sleeping in a cardboard box, wrapped up in the New York Times. A paper sack for a pillow, an empty bottle of wine. Everybody says he's crazy, shakes his fist at the wind. He's always fighting with his demons, but it's a fight he never wins. He used to be somebody's child, with his mama's face and his daddy's smile. He was someone's everything. They'd kiss his tears each time he cried, and sing to him sweet lullabies, and loving arms would rock him to sleep. On the wings of dreams he goes back for a while, when he was somebody's child. Some say he was a family man, but that was back in '95. Lost his wife and his little girl to a man too drunk to drive. There's a million more just like him, these souls that never learn, living in a cardboard castle in these homes of no return. He used to be somebody's child, with his mama's face and his daddy's smile. He was someone's everything. They'd kiss his tears each time he cried, and sing to him sweet lullabies, and loving arms would rock him to sleep. On the wings of dreams, he goes back for a while when he was somebody's child. They kiss his tears each time he cried and sing to him sweet lullabies, and loving arms would rock him to sleep. On the wings of dreams, he goes back for a while when he was somebody's child.
Wow. There it is, folks. Somebody's Child by Curt Ryle. Curt, man, that song, I'm sorry, buddy. That's just one of the best songs I've ever heard in my life.
I appreciate it, Earl. You know, I'm sure a lot of people are probably saying, wow, is that Curt singing? Absolutely not.
Yeah, I can confirm that. I'm joking, buddy.
Actually, that's Terry Bird singing that. He's a great, great singer. And
yes.
You know what I think we ought to do, Earl, is I think your listeners would probably like it if I brought you in here into my studio. I know you got a studio there too, and we could do it there. But why not bring you in here and let's put your voice on it and let them hear you sing it?
Wow.
And then they will know exactly how good you are. And because I hear you saying all the time that, you know, you're at the bottom of the totem pole. So why don't we do that? And let's let your listeners hear you sing that song.
Wow. Man, I would sure love to give it a try. That's a great song. Yeah. Hey, that's a great idea. Now you're plugging me. Wait a minute, buddy. You're supposed to be my guest.
I'm just saying, I know how your voice is. That's why I call you to sing all the time.
Oh, man. Well, that's just, listen, I got to put you back on the pedestal as one of the greatest songwriters I've ever met. There's 2 or 3 of you guys out there that just blow my mind. And I'm just glad that you're, more than anything, listen, I know you've done a lot of stuff, but I'm just glad you're my friend. That part I appreciate more than anything. So
vice versa, man. That
wow.
goes both ways.
Well, listen, now I know you've got, you shared something the last time I was at your studio. You might not even be able to talk public about it yet, but there's something about something coming up with one of your songs. And I heard maybe rumors of a movie or whatever. Is that something we can talk about?
Yeah, I think so. You know, there's a publicist that's handling this, but they have not told me I could not speak of this on the radio. So I feel like we could talk about that. I've got a young man who was a basketball player. He played for Oral Roberts University in Tulsa. Mm-hmm. He was an extraordinary ball player, definitely headed for the pros. And he stopped to help someone on the side of the road. Their car was broken down, and he stopped to help them, and a car hit him at 70 miles an hour and put him in a coma, and he went through a horrible, horrible time. And it ended his career as an athlete, and he woke up 6 months later. They never thought he would survive, but he did. And he, you know, PBS, I think it's PBS, wanted to do a movie of his story.
Wow.
And so they called me. I don't know how in the world they got a hold of me, but they did, and asked me if I would write a song for the movie. And so I met this guy. He actually came to the studio, and I sat down and interviewed him and talked to him. And he looked at me, and I told him, I said, you know what? You're stronger than before. And that's the title of the song.
Wait a minute. The guy actually came to your studio?
Yes, he did. And
oh, wow.
He told me the whole story from beginning to end. And this guy is an amazing person. He I don't know how anybody could survive something like that. But not only did he survive it, he's out there helping other people who come home from war and who go through these same kind of ordeals. He will actually go to them and speak to them and give them hope and encouragement.
Oh, wow.
It's a beautiful story, and
yes.
I'm really happy to be a part of that. And so I wrote the song called Stronger Than Before.
Wow.
And he had a friend who was a young girl singer. Her name is Nicole Nichols.
Okay.
And she came in, and she actually we put her vocal on the song. Now we got record companies looking at her. So
wow.
It's kind of taken a life of its own, but it's a very, very cool thing. I'm really
That's
proud to be
such
a part of that.
great story. I didn't know all the details. You briefly mentioned it to me the last time I was at studio. Listen, buddy, I am proud that that's happening for you because that's well deserved. Great job, man. That is awesome. Well, listen, Curt, I know you're busy, and you told me don't go over 5 minutes. I'm sorry I did. So
it's okay.
No, you were very generous with your time, and I appreciate that. Listen, I always wish you nothing but the best. Please come back soon and update us on things going on with Big Matador, which is your actual production company. Let us know what's going on in your world and your recording studio. Absolutely. Let us know what's going on in your life. We want to stay updated.
Absolutely. And hey, I appreciate you having me on your show. And Earl, I'm really, really serious about this when I say this. You have a very good show. I think this is going to be extremely successful, and I appreciate you having me on. It's been a joy.
Thank you so much. It's all my honor. I appreciate it, Curt. Listen, buddy, I will talk to you again soon, and thanks again.
Okay, take care.
Thanks, buddy. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Yeah, Mr. Curt Ryle. That was a great interview. Wow. Is that not just some great, interesting stuff to listen to? What about the song, Somebody's Child, by Curt Ryle? Thanks, Curt. Thumbs up, buddy. Great interview. I guess you know what that music means. Do you know what time it is? I do. I'll tell you what time it is. It's somebody's birthday. That's what time it is. If today is your birthday, have a great day. Have fun. It's your day. And on behalf of Let's Talk About Tomorrow, happy birthday! Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Yeah, I'm talking to you. Happy birthday to you. Yeah. Well, this day only comes around once a year. Celebrate. Enjoy it. Have a great day if it's your birthday. Well, this next segment, we've given it its own name. It's called the Real Estate Minute. That's with our friends over at Ryle Realtors, 931-648-2112. My dear friend David Green, the managing broker over there. I want to thank those guys for always taking out time to be with us. And we're joined again today by Mr. Ron Farson. We're glad he's with us via the Let's Talk hotline. Hey, Ron, are you with us?
I'm here. How you doing, Earl?
I'm awesome. How was your weekend?
Weekend was good.
Good.
A little bit of work. I played a little bit.
Well, good.
Just had a good time.
Good.
Built some houses.
Well, that's good. That's what we hope you are doing.
Yeah, exactly.
Well,
That's what David hopes I'm doing.
That's exactly. Yeah, David called and asked me if you were showing anything. I said, absolutely, David. He interrupts me in the show every day because he's got to go show something. So, yeah, he's showing stuff.
Yeah.
So,
good.
Yeah, we won't let David know the trick behind that, but he's probably not listening. So,
nah.
Yeah. Hey, I was going to ask you, it's Monday. We got a brand new week ahead of us. Listen, I know that we've got some new listeners that are joining us today. Can you do me a big favor and just go back and give a short summary of what you shared with us last week? Can you do that?
Sure. Be glad to.
Just take off.
We just, we talked about real estate in general and buying and selling. And what I like about it is I like to talk to people. And
Right.
I've been doing, I've had my license 15 years here at Ryle. Then I spent about 20 some years in the car business. So again, I like to talk to people. But as far as real estate goes, if I know or hear of somebody that wants to buy a house, I'd like to get them down here and talk to them. Just across the table, eyeball to eyeball.
Yeah.
I think the rapport is better that way.
Yeah.
And I've got a worksheet that I fill out, and I'll just start asking them questions. What price range are you looking for? What area do you want to live in? Do you need 3 bedrooms? Do you need 4 bedrooms?
Yeah.
It's sort of like a Santa Claus wish list.
There you go.
And I would like to, and I do the same thing with sellers. Sellers are a little bit different because I like to meet them at their property so I can look at the house.
That's a good idea.
And get a picture of what the house, may need as far as some updating or things like that. Because, we have a lot of houses in Clarksville that are built back in the 60s that are nice houses.
Yeah.
They just need they need a little TLC done.
Little facelift.
Yeah, a little facelift,
Yeah.
Sort of like me.
Oh, I wasn't going to go there, but hey.
Well, it's a new week. We'll start it off.
Yeah, right. Might as well laugh.
Exactly. But that's basically what it is. I mean, and everybody's got their separate way, their way of doing things. My way is, I'm going to follow up with you until you tell me not to. I'm not going to call you and bug you every day. I don't like that. If I find something that I think you might be interested in, I'll email it to you.
Right.
In fact, if you're interested in a certain house in a certain area, I'll set you up on an email list. And then every time a new property comes available in that area, then you will automatically get an email from me where you can just open it up and look at it. And then if you're interested, call me and we'll go from there, go look at it and maybe write an offer on it or something like that.
Sure.
And I'll do the same thing, when you're trying to sell your house, we've got it on the market. I'll put a email to you saying, okay, now last week this house down the street sold for X number of dollars.
Right.
I want you to know what your neighbors are selling their houses for. So, so make sure we don't overprice ours.
Yeah, sure.
Because it's, price sells.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
So that's basically it. When I was talking to David, and then I started talking with you, both of you guys back and forth, I really was asking, and I'm so glad, that you're going in detail on a lot of this stuff, because we got to remember, and you see, it's always present in your mind. We're not in the real estate business. We don't do this every day. You're the guys that are the experts. It's like somebody said something one time. If you needed brain surgery, you're not going to go to an orthopedic specialist. We've got to remember you guys are the experts. And you said something earlier last week that call me first before you do anything. Sure. That's
the best advice that anybody can give out, because I don't know where to begin. I'm not going to lie about it. And let me tell you something, when that's the largest investment that you'll ever make, leave your ego outside the door.
Definitely.
And I think that calling first is just the best thing that can be done. And so, hey,
I do too.
I appreciate the summary. I mean, we need this stuff. So,
well, and again, we're sort of in the people business. I mean, we really are. And, like I said, I've enjoyed it. I really, we have our ups and downs just like everybody else does. Yeah. But, the bottom line is to find somebody a house and they're happy with it. The seller's happy with it.
Yeah.
And we have a successful closing. Everybody gets paid or whatever. And
yeah, exactly.
Goes their separate ways.
Of course. Well, Ron, I appreciate you kind of doing a summary of what we talked about last week. I appreciate that. I'm gaining new listeners every day, and we're gaining them really quickly. And I want to make sure we're sharing great information. Again, I've been talking with Ron Farson here over at Ryle Realtors. That office number is 931-648-2112. And you can reach Ron directly at 931-320-6331. Ron, listen, buddy, thank you so much for taking time out of your day and stopping by again. I will be talking to you guys again tomorrow.
It sounds good. I tell you what, I've enjoyed it. And, You're the expert. I'm not a radio personality. You are.
Oh no, I love it. I just want to carry on a conversation, and I think that's what we do, and I like that.
And I hope the people pick something up.
They will
last week.
There's no way they can't. I mean, I know if I'm picking stuff up, there's others that's picking things up. Right. So,
but just all you got to do is just come in or call. That's all you got to do.
That's the number one priority.
I can take care of the rest of it.
Absolutely. Well, Ron, we really appreciate your time. This has been another Real Estate Minute. Thanks for being on here with me, Ron, and we'll talk to you guys again tomorrow. Take care, Ron.
Sounds good.
Bye.
Thank you.
All right, that was Ron Farson with Crylac Realtors, 931-648-2112. Guys, the first priority, if you are a potential buyer or seller, call them first before you do anything. They really do know what they're doing. They are the pros. Let them help you. Special shout out to my special guest, Curt Ryle, today. Curt, thank you, buddy, so much. Huge thumbs up. Great interview. Guys, we're going to have a great week. I look forward to talking to you again tomorrow.